Hi everyone, we are Group 1 and this is our strategic assessment of General Electric. With a video here, just going to wait quickly for it to download. It's a little bit about General Electric as a company. Okay, I think that's good. Just wanted to give you guys an idea that General Electric is a broader company than what most people think. When people think GE, they usually believe it's just, electric and all that stuff. So just a little bit of a video to start you off there. And we're going to move right into the mission, goals, and strategic management process, which was done by Anita Kosova. Mission statement: move, power, and cure the world. We are repositioning General Electric to be the world's best infrastructure and technology company with a smaller financial services division. Driving infrastructure leadership, investing in innovation, and achieving a culture of simplification to better serve our customers around the world. We're taking a look at the strategic management process. GE is a market leader with a diversified portfolio and a strong research and development portion. If you look at the chart here on the right, you can see that aviation makes up the largest portion of GE's net profits, second coming from power and water, and funny enough that General Electric is their name, and the smallest amount of their net profit comes from energy management. And they've also made a number of acquisitions over the years, which is growing the company, now spanning to over 100 countries. And they have a very large focus on corporate social responsibility. Next, we're going to move on to external analysis, which was done by Jessica Ferreira. We're starting with the pestle analysis here. Political factors. Because General Electric is a worldwide company, they must keep up to date with current events in each country. A recent event that could affect them is the separation of the United Kingdom from Europe. Economic factors: currency exchange rates, interest rates, and inflation worldwide. Social factors: because social norms vary from country to country, General Electric must keep this in mind when conducting business overseas. Technological factors: as a leader in technology, General Electric is well trained to keep up to date on the latest technology and advancements. Environmental factors: as GE's largest segment, energy and power is very focused on environmentally friendly development and responsible production of related activities. And legal factors: Trade laws and energy conservation laws vary worldwide, which can affect how GE performs and the products they can sell or produce in countries that they do business. Looking quickly at the five forces analysis, another part of the external analysis here. Buyer power is moderate. Supplier power is low to moderate. Substitutes relatively low. New entrants also relatively low, mostly because General Electric is a worldwide global company. It's pretty difficult to bust into a company that's so established like that. Competitive rivalry is high. And then we move on to the internal analysis, which was done by Joshua Miller. General Electric has a multifaceted business model. They're a jack of all trades. They specialize in energy production, but they also operate across various markets and disciplines. They have many different types of competitors. Their global rivals include Hitachi, Samsung, 3M, and Siemens, for example. They also have to compete with market-specific businesses. For example, GE and Samsung both produce washing machines. They must also compete with Maytag, Whirlpool, and other market-specific businesses. This has a high threat of substitutes, which makes their strategy fairly dangerous, but it's lessened slightly by the breadth of the product line. International operations mitigate economic risks. Fluctuating currencies and economies have a muted impact on GE's bottom line. However, geographic diversification also introduces administrative complications and overhead. Seems GE is trying to be everywhere and do everything and may find themselves spread too thin to constitute a single reputable brand in the future. We're going to move on to the SWOT analysis portion. Strengths and weaknesses first. Strengths: positive environmental and social contributions. This is one of my favorite parts. It attracts conscientious investors and responsible employees. Multidisciplinary operations reduces market-specific risks. Global strength. Majority of operations are outside of the U.S., and they have a balanced global revenue model. They have an enormous economies of scale and proprietary designs, which are valuable in their intellectual properties, and they hold high return potentials. Some weaknesses: hard time specializing in scattered markets, energy manufacturing, aviation, medical devices, consumer appliances. Is that too broad, maybe? A large part of GE's intellectual portfolio includes proprietary systems. Maybe strength or weakness, but it causes potential clients to evaluate whether they want to use a mashup of compatible equipment or rely singly on GE's machinery and software. We're going to look next at opportunities and threats. As far as opportunities for GE goes, they have very deep pockets. They can leverage the acquisition of many patents, technologies, and businesses. City and town infrastructures are constantly evolving. Opportunity to apply tools and expertise are always available and blooming. Emerging consumer technologies need a reputable brand under which they can develop, produce, distribute, and market such products. GE is a very desirable candidate. And some threats: they are an extremely high-profile litigation target. For example, GE was involved in manufacturing some of the parts that caused the nuclear reaction when the tsunami happened in Japan in 2011, and I'm pretty sure they're still involved in litigation from that. They act as a liable identity for third-party technologies, which is also ripe for a lawsuit. And they participate in many markets, which is hard to keep their ear to the ground for coming trends. They're easily outmaneuvered in volatile markets. Looking at the competitive analysis, General Electric strives for 4 key principles, consistently delivering year after year, which helps them lead them towards success. 1, building leadership. 2, focusing on reliable execution and financial discipline. 3, driving growth as a process. 4, spreading ideas across great people, teams who share common values. The competitive analysis portion was done by Chelsea Cormier also. And here we have some more competitive analysis. GE has been listed on Dow Jones for over 120 years. They have paid a quarterly dividend for over 100 years. And in their 124 years of business, they've only had 12 CEOs, which is crazy because that's only an average of 10 years per term. I mean, that is an average of 10 years per term, which is insane for a company as large as GE. And they are a company who looks to create their own path and innovations rather than being reactive to the market. Smart and wise strategy. We're going to take a look at their business strategy now. So the chart on the left you see here represents General Electric as a whole, and the big slice of the pie there, the blue slice of the pie, is their aviation department, which actually earns them the most revenue out of all of their different portions. If you remember, I said that earlier. And looking at GE, they employ a best cost provider strategy, and their cost drivers are economies of scale, capacity utilization, and production technology. And their value drivers elements are customer service, innovative technology, research and development, and experience. And also the business strategy portions, the chart above and these next two slides, were done by Robert Andrade. And one of the quotes that we have from David Jones is, for business strategy, is GE is always looking to move forward. Their biggest hurdles involve the manufacturing of costly products and ways to improve with digital design tools, additive manufacturing, advanced automated machining, and quality control. And best cost provider strategy, the positives on that are value conscious. They're in a niche market, the core competencies, and the negatives are product differentiation and upscale products, mostly, and the aviation, extremely expensive. Global strategy. Establishing a subsidiary in a foreign market via acquisition or internal development examples. Some examples include foreign purchases, Alstom, British Wellstream Holding PLC, Opal Software, and some internal developments, Indian Railways, which is ongoing, and South Africa's Transnet Freight Rail. Alstom is an international engineering firm which focuses on railways and is GE's biggest acquisition to date. And best strategy for global strategy. Resources and logistics are in place to enter a foreign market, providing valuable technical know-how to foreign companies, not needed to be competitive. Company has direct control over all value chain activities. Alliance and joint venture strategy might also be worth exploring. Potential benefits for economies of scale and reducing backlog. Being able to share costs associated with developing new technologies may be in their best interest. The global strategy portions were also done by Robert Andrade, just a quick shout out. We're going to move on to social responsibility. Here's a short video, I promise. All right, so that was just a little video showing you guys about their Eco-Imagination project. That's a big umbrella word, and that is what they use to incorporate basically all of their social responsibility goals and achievements falls under the Eco-Imagination umbrella. So we're going to look a little bit at some of their goals and the progress that they've made thus far. GE's energy and climate goals to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 20% by 2020, and 2011 was the baseline for start. And so far they have had a 12% reduction from that 2011 baseline in greenhouse gas reduction. The Eco-Imagination, which is the company I told you about before, research and development commitment to increase their investment to $25 billion by 2020. And their progress so far, they've spent $17 billion on research and development between 2005 and 2015, with $2.3 billion on research and development in 2015 alone, which is only good for the environment and social responsibility at GE. That includes things like wind turbine investment, and it's funny because a lot of their return on investment is higher than the money they actually put in. So the water initiatives, they intend to try to reduce freshwater usage by 20% by 2020, and that's a 2011 baseline, and they've thus far had a 17% reduction. So it looks like they're going to meet their goal and exceed by their deadline. And conclusion. By the way, the social responsibilities were my portions, and so was the conclusion. And should we consider working for General Electric? And our group conclusion overall was yes. And General Electric has a big focus on social responsibility. They're also a global company. They care a lot about employee satisfaction. They're a worldwide leader in technology and innovation. And they've been growing the value of the company since 2012. That's the stock value you can see over here on the right. And I don't know about you, but I would like to work for a company that's doing all the things that GE is doing and managing to also increase their shareholder value every year. And that is the conclusion of Group 1's presentation of GE. Thanks very much.